Hey guys, welcome back. Nathan here, and this video is all about Bitcoin. We will be taking a look at why Bitcoin should be part of every smart investor's portfolio, and also where to buy Bitcoin that is safe and secure. What a crazy 10-year history Bitcoin has had. It completely disrupted the financial system. It's also had some crazy explosive booms and also some more crazy explosive busts, yet it still prevails today. We've recently seen investors like Paul Tudor Jones say that he's now allocated a couple of percent of his assets into Bitcoin, and this guy has over $5 billion. So I have created this video to answer the following questions. Why might Bitcoin be a great opportunity right now? How much Bitcoin should we buy? Where do we buy Bitcoin that is safe and secure? And once we've made our purchase, where do we keep our Bitcoins so that they are safe? My goal with this video is to teach you all that information in just a 10-minute video. If you find anything in this video useful, then please click that like button, as that would be much appreciated. Okay, sit back and relax. This is what you need to know about how to buy Bitcoin. So, as discussed, we'll be looking at why buy Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin do we buy, where do we actually buy the Bitcoin that's safe and secure, and where to store the Bitcoin once we have purchased. Quick disclaimer.
This video is for education purposes only. You should seek investment advice from a registered professional before making any investment decision. This video is not responsible for any investment actions taken by its viewers.
So, to understand why Bitcoin might be a great opportunity, let's look at 2020 performance of some asset classes. So let me just draw up a chart, and on the left hand side we've got the percentage gain and loss, and across the bottom we're going to look at the different major asset classes to see how Bitcoin has done. So we've got bonds, we've got the S&P 500 representing stocks, we've got gold and Bitcoin. So bonds. I looked at an index tracker which tracked the treasuries, and bonds index tracker actually did really well, over 8%. So that's actually pretty good for year to date. The stock market, S&P 500 is still down a couple of percent, so not a great year for stocks so far. Gold has actually had one of its best years for a long time. I think it's close to a 20% gain now, and it's actually nearly setting all-time highs. So gold is having a great year, and Bitcoin, as you can see, it's up 24% for the year. So it's a great place to be. I don't think you can ignore Bitcoin as it's outperforming the other asset classes. So how about potential? Well, if you haven't seen the stock to flow model, you should definitely take a look. And there's a couple of things that I want to point out. We can spend quite a lot of time on this chart, but I'm just going to point out some of the most basic things, and it has to do with the Bitcoin halving event. So first up, on the left hand side, you'll notice that this is a logarithmic chart, which means it jumps in tens. So 10x's, so we go from $1 to $10, $10 to 100, 100 to 1,000. So these are 10-time jumps. And this has tracked the last 10 years of Bitcoin. So I'm going to show you what's happened in the halving events, which happen every 4 years. So there's a halving event in 2013, and you can see that from the little red mark there. And you can see what happened here is this is the red where it actually halvened, and then over the next year, it actually 10x'd and set all-time highs. You'll notice again there was another one in 2017, which was here. This is the red mark here, and then this is the last bull run where Bitcoin shot up to almost $20,000 and set all-time highs. And the amazing thing is, guys, is that we just had another halving event. So if Bitcoin does what it just did, then we could be seeing it shoot up to past $100,000. And that is why Bitcoin has got great potential. So how much to buy all comes down to asset allocation. So as an investor, you always want to be working on your portfolio. And your portfolio could be made up of many different things. Typically, it involves some stocks, bonds, property, cash, gold, commodities, cryptocurrencies. So you need to decide what portion of your portfolio are you going to put into cryptocurrencies. Paul Tudor Jones, as mentioned in the intro, is one of the most successful investors in the world. He has a net worth of over $5 billion, and he went on the news recently and stated that he's moved 1 to 2% of his assets into Bitcoin. So it's going to depend on your age, it's going to depend on the amount of money that you have to spend, and it's also going to depend on your personal risk tolerance. So the portfolio of 2% looks like this, and this is what Paul Tudor Jones did. And if you've got a lot of money, then 2% is probably a good benchmark. It's also a portfolio that is very low risk. You can only ever lose 2% of your money. On the flip side, we have up to 50%. Now, before you go crazy screaming at your computer that how can you recommend 50% of my money in Bitcoin? Let me just explain. So this would suit people if you've only got a very low amount of money. So if you only want to invest $100, you've got a spare $100 and you're wondering where to invest, then up to 50% of that might make sense to put it into Bitcoin, because you're only ever going to be able to lose $50. So this would suit people who have only got a low amount of money to invest. If you've got a bit more money, then this would be deemed very, very high risk. So you're probably going to fall somewhere between the two, depending on how much money you have, your risk tolerance, and your age. So now we just need a safe and secure place to buy. Well, I did a quick Google on where to buy Bitcoin, and unfortunately there's now dozens and dozens and dozens, so many places that you can buy Bitcoin. It is not surprising that a lot of people are like, well, where do I actually buy it? Everywhere's now selling it. Well, to keep things super simple, if you are a beginner, then I always just recommend keep it simple and go to Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the largest exchanges in the world. It's got over 35 million people. It supports over 100 countries now, and it's a very simple process. They make it really easy to buy. It involves something like this. So you register with the link below to sign up with Coinbase. You'll then have to do a verification process, and all good websites will make you do this, where you pretty much scan your photo ID. So this could be a passport, could be a driving license, and verify your identity. You'll then link up your bank and your bank card, and then you can make your purchase. So that is pretty much a high-level view of how you buy Bitcoin. For the intermediate and advanced people, Coinbase also has Coinbase Pro. So you can just go straight onto an exchange, and if you know how to use exchanges, then this is probably the best option for you, because you'll pay the lowest fees. You'll only pay, I think it's 0.5% in fees if you know how to use exchanges, but there is a learning curve. So this is more for intermediate and advanced people. So now you have Bitcoin, where do you store it? Well, this comes down to wallets. And there's typically 3 kinds of wallets. You can actually just keep your Bitcoin on the exchange itself. you can use some software. I've used a company called MetaMask before, which actually just is a Chrome extension. And the third option is to use some hardware. So you can get like a little external drive which plugs into your computer, and you can place your Bitcoins in there. So there's pros and cons to each one, guys. There is no definitive perfect way. With the exchange, this is the simplest, easiest way to do it. In fact, you don't have to do anything. You just buy your Bitcoin and keep it there. Obviously, Coinbase is still a third party. Some exchanges have been hacked before. Some exchanges go bust. So there is third party risk. With the software, I think the best thing about MetaMask is that if you buy lots of different cryptocurrencies, there's 5,000 of them out there, and MetaMask will support a lot more of them. So if you've got loads of different kinds, then that's the plus for MetaMask. Obviously, there's third-party risk. It is an external company. It can go bust, it can disappear. So there's risk there. And the last option, which is arguably the safest option, would be an external hard drive wallet. And the market leader for this is Trezor, but there is no perfect way, so you can actually still lose this. You can still get it stolen. So it's arguably the safest option, but then if you're the kind of person that loses things, then maybe that's not the way for you. So there you are, guys. In the last 10 minutes, you now know why Bitcoin might just be a great investment opportunity. You now know a safe and secure place to buy Bitcoin. You now know how much Bitcoin to buy, and that's based on asset allocation, which makes up your age, the amount you're going to spend, and also your attitude to risk. And you also know the options you have on where to store your Bitcoins once you've made your purchase. So that's quite a lot of information for one 10-minute video. So congratulations for getting to the end. Okay, so if you liked the video, please click that like button. It really helps out the channel, so that would be much appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, I've got some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss, so be sure to click that subscribe button. In a couple of days, I'm going to be doing a video on Ethereum, as it's another one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, which I think does have a lot of growth potential. So be sure to look out for that one. And finally, what do you think about Bitcoin? Have you invested in Bitcoin? Do you think that it's going to be on another big run in the next 1 to 2 years? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, cheers guys. Bye for now.